All right, so Hank's going to pass out some plates. Now, don't fool with the plates today. Today, actually, we're going to talk about salt. All right, everything that you ever thought you wanted to know about salt. What do you know about salt? Do you know why people take salt and throw it? I was hoping Hank wasn't behind me. Over their left shoulder. Superstitions, yeah, it's all based on superstitions. But you know what the salt, why you throw it over your left-hand shoulder? The superstition was that the devil is always sitting right behind your left shoulder. And there's always an angel sitting on your right behind your right shoulder. So if you spill the salt or if you screw up in something, for good luck, you take salt, you throw it over your left-hand shoulder, it gets in the devil's eyes. He can't see you, and while you're cleaning up your mess, he's got salt in his eyes. Crazy, isn't it?
Does it work?
I don't know. Hank, would you stand behind me, please? Do you know that on the picture that Michelangelo drew of the Last Supper, you've got the 12 disciples sitting there and Jesus, and there's lots of things about it, but there is in front of Judas Iscariot a bowl of spilt salt. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. Did you know that salt, the original words of the name that we get salt from, means salary, and that in the Roman times, that a lot of the people who were in the Roman army were actually paid their wages in salt, and we get salary from that. Did you know that in the old times, and I'm trying to give you a connotation, an idea of what it looked like in the old times. So did you know that in the old times that men would carry bags of salt on their person, and when they entered into an agreement, they would reach into their bags and they would pull out some salt, and they would exchange salt one with another. And that was the consummation of the agreement, because then what they would do is they would take this other person's salt and they would exchange the salt, and then they would put it in their bag and they would shake it around, and you couldn't tell any longer what was his and what was yours, and it was to symbolize a binding agreement that could no longer be separated. Interesting, isn't it? Did you know that salt was something that was very rare back in the Bible times and in the early centuries? Yeah, and right now you can go to Kroger Food Line and pick up a pound of salt, the Morton salt in the round can that we've all seen, and you get a pound of that, or maybe it's 2 pounds, I don't even know, but it's 33 cents. But in the old days, salt was rare. Salt was something that was very important. Salt was something that was very valuable. And the poor people back in the old days, a lot of the salt that they used, they mined from seas, but a lot of the people couldn't afford the salt because this was something only the rich people had access to. So most of the poor people, the peasants, most of the people in Jesus' time actually went to the salt marshes. This was a place where the ocean had washed up into the mainland, and during that time it had soaked in, the salt water had soaked into the barks and the reeds and the plants. And as a result of that, they would go down to these salty marshes and they would pull these plants or reeds or barks and they would take them back to their house. Because salt, first thing I want you to remember about salt is a flavor enhancer. And think about that. At your tables, I'm going to tell you about this, what they did in the old days, and then we're going to go through a process, and we'll teach you about salt today. I know, this is going to be a good day, okay? I know, kind of weird, whatever you think, but I have a point to this. They would take the reeds, the bark, the plants, and they would take the saltiness in those plants, and they would rub it on top of the meats, the vegetables, and it would transfer the saltiness that was in those things into the meats and the vegetables. And then when it was done, they'd just throw it away. And we'll come back to that point at a later time. So today, you have crackers. Do you have one for this table? We have crackers. I want you to take each one of you take a cracker. They're unsalted saltines. Take a cracker, break it into 4 pieces. It's like somebody say something about jumbo shrimp. Okay, you got it broken into 4 pieces. All right, what I want you to do, I want you to take 1 piece of that cracker and I want you to eat it. All right, it's unsalted. Kind of bland, kind of boring. Okay, you got 3 salts on your table. I want each of you to reach into the one that's labeled salt number 1, which is the yellow salt. And just grab a little pinch, put it on a piece of bread, and I want you to taste that. It doesn't take a lot. Michael, you need to move this faster.
The brown one is a little suspicious.
Okay, and eat that one. What does it taste like? Better? Garlic. That is just a plain garlic salt, plain table salt that's got garlic taste into it. All right, go to number 2. The granular white. Take that, sprinkle it on a piece of. Sprinkle it on a piece of the thing. Yeah, you have to just lay it on top of it. I can taste that.
Sea salt.
Yeah, but it's a very specific type of sea salt.
Myrtle Beach.
This is a in Myrtle Beach. No, trust me. You'd be going This salt right here, the one that you just tasted.
Dead Sea Sea.
No, it's not out of the Dead Sea. It's actually off of the Isles of Italy. So it's yeah, right. Now it is a salt that has different flavors and different tastes. Now the third salt, which is the pinkish, blackish one. Take that. No, it's not baking soda. I'm not tricking you guys on this. So what do you think about that? Oh, now you got to taste it. It's not about the smell. All right, what is that?
Egg. So where you ain't right, man. Notice he isn't eating.
Drew says I gotta get a drink. It is actually salt out of the Black Sea, right off the coast of Russia. Believe it or not, that right there is the most expensive of all the salts that you've tasted. And see, we all know one thing: Joe does not have a very good palate. All right. So, in light of everything that I've just told you about salt,